It is car 959. You're on the street, you're on the air, and I can tell you now, not only do I sound great, but I see double. I'm like, what's happening? Even their tonality in voice. Same. What the?
What in the devil?
What is it? You know, even the cook sisters are one.
Yeah.
The muffins are one.
Yeah,
From the same flipping mixture.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, but we came out like this. We are so special. If I have to say that myself.
We're special?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we are special.
And I'm
Everything
looking
that
at your
God
dental
doubles,
formula as
you
well,
must
for
know.
crying out loud.
We tried to look different for you to make it
We
easier.
did. My hair is different. I
And
tied
you
it
are?
differently. I'm innocent.
Outlaw
And
hair?
I tried not to conceal my eyebrows because I love them natural. So she concealed hers. So this is why I'm saying you'll know that I'm the innocent one because I tone things down. And me is super dramatic. So yeah.
No, stop.
Welcome, the Centtwinz.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. God is intentional?
Ooh.
Too much. He's so intentional. He just never gets it wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing about God. Like everything happens for a reason. He's intentional, and the good, the ugly, the bad.
There's always intention
It's always
behind that.
There's always intention.
Even behind the painful moments in our lives, there's always purpose behind that. You know, we never know how we get reshaped, reformed, and molded into our perfect positions until we go through trials and tribulations. And so for me, I know that God is intentional, even when we go through things and I'm like, wow, that actually served a purpose. It hurt, but it served a great purpose. And so when you have that kind of mindset, it helps you overcome some of the hardest battles in your life.
Yeah.
Nah. Really? Nah. I hear you though. I hear you, but really, no.
No, for real. Hey, like for real. Like you literally need to go through that storm and experience the rainbow to understand that it's just seasons, Like I really do believe in seasons, and some seasons are just there to shape you. And some seasons are just harder than others.
Yes.
Like that's just
And
the
they
reality
change
of
you.
life.
One thing that changes you are your circumstances. It changes you. There's no way you're going to look at life the same after going through certain things in your life.
Not after I've watched your episode with Owami and how you were revealing the tragedy behind your smiles
Yeah.
and your upbringing.
Yeah.
How your parents were snatched. And it is still mysterious to this very day
Yeah.
on how mommy passed on, how daddy, and all of this, right? And you still want to tell me God is intentional? You don't want a face-to-face meeting with him about this? Why are we orphans?
Not even. I think, yes, you grow up and you have those questions for God, but you also realize that his divine plans are far beyond what we could even understand. In the beginning, I thought I could understand God, and I thought I could understand his plans, and I thought I could understand it until I understood that, oh, wait, he's not human, he's not like man, he is God, he's divine. So certain things, you have to let them be divine. You have to let certain questions be unanswered, So
But
for
we are
me,
human.
even with our parents, I was so curious. There was a
still
season of
curious.
curiosity.
Like, what?
Yeah, but you stop at a certain point. You have to stop at a certain point because you have to choose peace. Because you realize that when you let something consume your mind,
It's
your
gonna
thought,
haunt you.
it's gonna haunt you, and then you're gonna get the answers. But the question is, are you ready for those answers? Are you ready to know how your mom was murdered? Are you ready to know who murdered her? Are you ready to know who murdered your father? Why they murdered him? And then do what with that information? And how is that gonna change who and what you are, So we decided, let's embrace who we are and where we are, and the things that we need to figure out are what's our purpose, what's our contribution to the world, why are we still here? That's your husband calling me, girl. Put my phone on silent.
Hey, Kilimametse, man. Kilona.
Clearly he's not listening. Why is he
So-
calling?
Yeah.
Yeah, but something like the one thing with death is that you can never wake people up. And I think for me, that was the point where I had to make peace with things that it doesn't matter what I find out right now. I can't bring them back.
Yeah.
I cannot bring them back. So I'm just like, let me just let it go.
Guys,
And I
you
do
are
agree
four.
there is sanity, in knowing. There's a certain
Closure.
closure that you get
Yeah.
by knowing certain things.
Yeah.
But there's also the beauty in it's okay if I don't know.
Ish. Yeah, no.
It's okay if I don't know.
I don't think Millie agrees with you there.
You don't agree with me?
No. I don't think like it's okay with not knowing, because it's all part of the story and all part of the puzzle. Like I feel like certain things can, like now going forward, it can make life a little bit easier only if you get that piece of the puzzle that's missing.
But with us, it's different because we felt like we're more protected by not knowing more,
Okay.
especially when it comes to my father.
Okay.
And, I was actually very grateful that he was not close to us as much as we would have wanted
Loved
him
him to.
to be.
Based on his
Okay,
world, yeah.
Later, exactly.
Like,
based on the
okay.
choices he made in life. And I would say career path. Is that even a career?
That is not a career.
And
Being a gangster is not a career.
so for me, I'm like, thank you. It
Yeah.
would have been nice to be a daddy's girl and to have daddy, but for the fact that nobody knew that we are your kids in your circle, well, nothing happened to us. We were okay. It saved us later. And I'm like, I don't know why you made those decisions, but whatever reason.
So
or
he was
motive,
intentional.
He was
Probably.
intentional with his life. And it's so funny how like we see bits and pieces of our parents in us, although we don't know them much.
even in our kids.
Like even in our kids, like we are such like fighters. Like Raloela. It's crazy. And they're like, oh no, that's your
tenacity,
father.
courage,
Yes.
and just like
We're so
wanting to know
brave.
more. Yeah.
And I'm just like, my father, like being the person that he is, he was like super brave. He was this academic, but at the same time, he was like this wild guy, dangerous guy.
He used his intelligence in
Yeah.
a non-intelligent way.
Yeah.
So he was super smart and he figured things out very easily, and that's why, because even his associates are really high-profile people whom now when we're older they come and approach us. It would be like judges, lawyers, and people like that.
Advocates,
Advocates.
like, oh my
they'd be
gosh.
like, sit down with us, like, okay, let's tell you guys about your father now that you guys are.
Oh, I see.
And this is the kind of person that he was, even in and out of prison. This is his mind. Your father is just like studied law in and out, studied medicine in and out, studied psychology in and out. Like you would not even have a conversation with him. He was just like super smart, and some of the judges who were in some of his high profile cases would be like, this man would walk out free even when he was guilty because he will talk himself, So we appreciate those things to hear them now, but at the same time, I'm just like, how could you have not just been like a professional?
But also, like, when like we need to deal with people, like for real, I'm just like, being the Christian girls that we are, I just wish my father was. I just feel like, please
sort it out.
Sort this person out. This person owes us for 2 years.
I know that happens a lot.
Call on Daddy.
We actually tried. We didn't call on Daddy because he was gone, but we tried with one of his, associates who reached out later and be like, listen, this is a man. He owes us a lot of money.
Yeah.
But later on, after lots of prayers, we were just like, Sissy, let's let this go. It was hard, but we're like, let's let it go. We're not, we just don't want to be those people. It's okay. We made our mistakes and disagreements and whatever. We fought however we can fight legally, and then let's put pens down. It's okay. Let's walk away from it. It's better.
Okay.
And so
Now I don't wanna, because you see, I loved your YouTube episode.
Yes.
Like I said, with Owami, guys, find it. Centtwinz on their YouTube channel is there. Yeah. You need to watch it. And then you can fill up the pieces to this point, because from this point on we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It is Happy Mother's Month, and we'll try and celebrate it the whole month. And I hope you return the favor next month.
Okay, Father's Day.
Like shortly, we're just enjoying our moment, and then.
But no, reminder. How your mothers now?
Yes.
How are you able to give love, motherly love, when you yourselves don't have a recollection of that motherly love? The only thing you know is grandmother love. So what are you giving your kids? Motherly love or grandmotherly love?
Sure.
Which one is it?
That's
Because we always teach, we always give from what we know.
What we know, yeah.
that reference, eh?
Yes.
That reference, because it's not what people say to you, it's how they behave. It's
That's right.
mannerisms that we learn, that we adapt to. I think that's a brilliant question. We've never been asked a question like that before.
Welcome to Kaya.
Bam.
Boom!
Uncle T.
Hey. So I think for me, and I'll go back to Mother's Day and what the day signifies to me. Every single year, it's always been a very hard year. But every single time, I have to be intentional, again, the word comes back, to being a present mom to my kids, even though I don't know what it is to being mothered.
Yeah.
I don't know the feeling. I don't know what it's like to call somebody mama. And with my grandmother, we called her Gogo. And I'm so happy because we could enjoy a granny's love. We
That's
can
right.
enjoy
Yeah.
Ugogo, you
Yeah.
know? And even though she gave us a love of a mother, but she also played a role of being a grandmother as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And in that warm embrace, and I'll call it warm embrace because there's no other warmer love that I know or that I can compare to that love that we received from her, is that sometimes I'm trying to figure out how it is to be a mom. I figure it out because it's nothing that I've seen. It's a matter of, it's trial and error. This is how I mother. Even when I fail with my kids, like my teenage daughter, it sometimes gets so hard. And I'll just look at it and be like, okay, I guess this is the part where I failed. This is the part where I'm not getting right. I don't know when to have certain conversations. I don't know when to talk about boyfriends. I don't know when to talk about, puberty. I don't know when. It's just like you figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like you draw your own map. And it's a process of trusting in the choices and the decisions that you're making. Because you question yourself. And I look at how she's doing it. And sometimes we'd mirror each other. And then I'm just like, I think we failed at that, Sissy. Let's redo it again, you know? I'm like, what do you do with the boys? Because she's got teenage boys. I've got a teenage daughter. And she was like, I did this. And then I tried and adapt that. And then I'm just, okay, Sissy, that didn't work. What's happening, you know? And then they fight. And then we sort of assist each other because I told her now with her daughter, who's 3, who's just so grown up. And I said, girl, you cannot be sleeping with your child. That child needs to get out of your bed, okay? Because, there's no way. And she adapted that very quickly. I think within 2 weeks, Khanya moved to a bed. But it's trial and error again because nobody tells you what to do, how to do it. So I'll see something and be just like, this is out of place. Girl, shifted, move it.
But the first few years, I think when the kids were younger, were the hardest because in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I need to go to my mother's house and then my mother's going to show me how to change a nappy, how to do all these things. Oh my gosh, it was a movie.
But
especially with me because I had twins.
Sure. Hardest moment ever.
So I didn't skip a generation?
Oh, no. I told you he's special.
Come on.
Yo, Millie just went in with the twins. Ooh,
there
we
was
used to
one
cry.
night.
Yeah.
The twins wouldn't sleep. I think they had colic.
Yeah.
They cried for hours on end. And I think it was about 3 a.m. My sister and I also woke up because the twins wouldn't sleep. So we also cried. So all 4 of us were crying.
Hi.
Yeah.
And it was at that point.
It's a twin fest.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. And I was like, Sissy, is this a curse or is it a blessing? Because right now I am so confused. And we tried to call my grandmother. I'm like, what do I give these kids? And she was like, I forgot. Yes, I'm too old now.
Man.
Yeah,
You know? And I'm just like, no, we want to sleep. All of us are just crying. We're so frustrated. And at that point, that's when, these moments come up that this is the point where I need a mom. Because at this point, she would have stepped in.
Yes.
Should have given a solution.
Yo, and some answers, because now you hear from everyone. Remember, there's an aunt calling you, there's friends calling you, there's a neighbor calling you. And when you're a new mom, everyone has an opinion.
That's right.
Of how you need to raise your kids. But at that point, you need your mother's opinion. Because there's so many.
The first
You're reading a
reference,
book,
yeah?
You
You're
need
reading
that
a magazine.
porridge from your mom.
Yeah.
And then she says, take a nap. Let me look after the baby.
Yeah.
So we were taking care of each other.
Yeah.
So when she's sleeping, I'll be like, let me take care of the kids, and vice versa, and we take turns. But that would mean I'm away from my home, I'm away from my husband, I'm with my sister day and night because I need to assist her. And when I also had my kids, she had to leave her children and come to me.
Listen, I'm in the labor ward. When she's giving birth, the same. We tell the gynaes
and
from
it
day
was hard
one.
because I think it was COVID.
It's
With
like,
you
no,
with
just
Khanya,
the husband can come in. I'm like, we're not doing that, please.
Yeah, during
Hi.
COVID, I told the nurses.
What's married? They were not there.
You know what?
Guys, now you know, eh? Now you know. When the minute she says I'm a twin, now you must know.
Listen, you want to have an interview with our husbands because this conversation would not be as pleasant as it is right now because being married to twins is like we can write a book on that because it's a mess. Because that best friend, that companion, that partner is not like you normal people. With us, it's different because this
everyone is
my person.
Priority.
Yeah.
And then it's Millicent, then everybody else. Basically, even our children know. Even when I'm
including
sad,
live and cleave, I do in front of God and others.
I was born with this girl. Listen, one egg split. I met you when I'm matured and I've seen life. I met you when I'm in my 20s and then we got married.
But
this one that I was born with.
Blood is thicker than water.
Exactly.
No, wait.
Don't
Please, you're starting a war.
No, it's not a war.
You are being a husband
No.
advocate
I like the
now.
fact that you're Christian girls. It's time for me to teach you a thing or two. When they say the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Yeah, no, you know what? I 100% get that principle.
But,
I get the principle that you are one with your husband.
Yeah.
And I
Mara.
think it's so beautiful, actually.
Mara.
But it's even better when you have a
Mara.
What must I do with my twin? Must I now throw away because I'm married?
Are you guys living in the same street?
No, we are 10 minutes away, unfortunately.
We would have loved to be neighbors, but
would have, honestly.
unfortunately. But I think it's also beautiful that we had the marriage system because we're able to have our own identities, our own homes, our own structures.
But
it was hard, but it was good for
us.
us. It was really, really good for us.
Yeah.
Because I look at a lot of
I want to
twins and
call
feel
one
like,
husband, though.
You don't have it. As long as it's not my
Do you
husband,
know
child.
the tears I cried on her lobola? I was like, this guy hates me.
Ha!
How dare he? He has an entire entourage, his uncles, his parents here to come pay. What? No, I felt so disrespected. I was
No
just
way.
Like, yeah. No, I felt like this is the highest form of disrespect. Like, who
Like
does
it's a love and hate. Like even for her husband, for me it's a love and hate because I'm just like, you love my sister Chaba. Then at the same time, like, oh, thank you for loving my sister. But at the same time, I'm like, this is the person that took her away from me.
Yeah.
But it's not like you would have agreed to one husband.
No.
You see now.
We don't even like
Guys,
the same.
Guys,
Like the
choose
same
a battle.
We can have both. I can have my sister. I can have my husband. We can have both. It is a possible task. And do you know what? That's God gives you what He gives you.
We're failing, but we think we're
We're
managing
striving.
it well.
Yeah.
Do you see the movie? Twin Love. It's a possible task. That's the punchline.
Possible task. I love it.
The Swen twins are here, and we are talking about their life, their journey. Have you done that twin prank on your husbands?
I think they prank themselves, honestly.
Yeah,
like
they
my
do.
husband has kissed her. And
Hi.
he's like, what are you doing? Like, Umusha be like,
They
I'm behind, babe.
they just like being boys, literally. You
Yeah.
know? It's just like you'll just spank one and you're just like, "Hi, you're not my wife." When I'm just like, child, but we all know you know who your wife is.
Because how many years now? Married.
15 years.
Is it
15 this year. It's 15 this year.
15.
Yeah, because we
Wow.
got married in 2010.
We're babies when you got married. We're
Yeah, we're
22.
so young.
We got married the same year, by the way. So after my little depression when my sister got married, I actually met my husband.
Uncle T, let me
officially.
tell you.
Yes.
T, let me tell
Yes.
you.
Bring it.
At my lobola, my husband invited her husband, whom of course she knew nothing about. So guy came to the lobola because
was
they were friends from
bragging
church,
later.
and then he was bragging. Then he saw my sister. Then a few months later they were married, and I had dated my husband for 4 years, and this one had met her husband for 4 minutes, and they got married.
When lightning strikes, it strikes, doesn't it?
No, it
So
does.
cute, though,
He
but
saw I
he's
needed
such an
saving. I was
amazing man.
suffering. I didn't
Do
know
twins, what's the word? Suffer from anxiety, separation anxiety,
Yes.
alone time.
100%.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
100%.
cannot be alone.
I think it's worse than separation anxiety. I don't know how
Really?
to explain it.
Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
if there's even a word for it.
yeah.
Because after I got married, I remember, I forced my husband to go to the bathroom with me.
Yeah.
Forced my husband to take a shower with me, bath with
Because
me.
we used to doing everything like this.
together,
Yeah.
literally. And so it was a little bit of an adjustment for him because he was like, just go to the bathroom. Yeah, but just go with me. He's like, but just do it. I'm like, no, you have to do it with me. So it was new, we used to eating from the same plate, sharing everything, sleeping on the same bed. Even today, because we travel content creators, we refuse to be in a hotel room where they have twin beds because we want to sleep together. It's just like when you come in, that's the only time to cut out our time to reconnect again because we're married. So like our travel adventure has actually been such like the biggest blessing for us because we get to wake up together, we get to brush our teeth together, we get to shower together and eat together and have those moments that really in the past 15 years, kids intruded, husband intruded, life intruded.
I like the choice of words.
I'm
it's an intrusion.
Yeah, so I can be just like, it's so beautiful because I can literally say like, good night, Sissy, and she'll be like, good night, Sissy, and we have a hug and then we sleep. Like, it's so beautiful because that's gone, and then you get back to reality.
You can't tell me you work together. You're in the same space.
We are in the same industry. We work together in terms of the podcast. So Centtwinz production, that's both of us, and everything production else company. We do separately. So I'm a TV presenter on my own show, and she's on Skim Sam, so she's an actor. So we both have acting degrees. We both studied the arts.
Yeah, and then we both also for our postgrad graduated from the same institution as well. So, but we've always known one to be a part of the entertainment industry. Like we've never really had a doubt.
But I'm talking about that moment where you are at Skim Sam, you are now doing your own show, and chances are you are separated for a good 7 hours.
It's hard because it's hard to make relationships because I don't know.
You don't trust anyone to be in that space anyway.
I don't want to trust them anyway, and I don't want to have the conversation with them. So you become awkward. Socially awkward because for most of the time I'm sitting in my room unless if I have to run lines with my other co-actors, and so for me, like whether or not we're friends or we're not friends, I feel like I'm not losing anything because my sister I would have had a conversation with her in the morning driving to work, and I'm probably going to have a conversation to tell her how work was. She'd be like, did you fluff? I'm like, no. How was your day? How are the actors? What did they say? And I would tell her like verbatim every single conversation I had on that day.
Even the audition to Skim Sam, actually, like, because she's good with languages, I'm not, so she knew how to speak Spedi properly. Then I was running lines with her in the car as she was going to the audition. Then she goes in the audition and I'm just like praying that she gets the job. Like, oh my goodness, pray she gets the job.
And vice versa, even with her presenting work. And we had to decide very early on in our career because we used to not get jobs because we used to audition
I was about
for
to
the
ask.
same thing. So we'd get like a presenting job and we'd both go for the presenting job or voiceover job. And I realized I am not good at that. I'm not good in molding my words and speaking in a certain way. She is. I'm not a better presenter than her. She's a far greater presenter than me.
We just
and with the acting as well.
We figured it out actually like in very unfortunate ways because we'd go to, and we do so well at the audition, but they would feel like if we can't take both of you,
then we're not
taking one, even though one is stronger. But I think it's a few casting directors that would be honest with us and that would say, okay, no, you know us better this time, so next time let her come alone.
Or they would say, you know what, we actually decided not to take the both of you because we didn't want it
to disappoint
the other one. So we're like, Sissy, never again, we're not auditioning together. We must decide who's better at acting,
this one,
who's better at presenting.
Or we look at the brief, then we're like, okay, I feel like this brief suits you better. If it's not a twin brief, then we don't go together.
Then the jobs
has there been a twin brief?
We've gotten all the jobs.
As long as there's twins on the brief,
there is no twin audition that we didn't get the job for. No commercial, no twin commercial, no
really?
Twin
How
campaign.
Do we make twins? I mean, you wanna win? No. Listen, you wanna win?
Get twins.
And you wanna stay there? Make twins. Millie, you got it from your mom. Share it, girl. Come on.
I tried to tell her.
You close one eye.
Asking her. I tried it twice and I got singles. I am like, what? I told my gynecologist, check closer.
Come on.
Because my sister told me how to do it. It was just like one baby. I'm like, Sissy, come on. That's the one thing
we blame the husband.
Yes.
Yeah. You're supposed to wink.
Yes.
Wink, wink, wink. And then, confuse the system.
The
scramble.
Yes.
I just want to give a big shout out to the Centtwinz. Thank you for sharing such powerful and inspiring stories on your podcast. Your love for God is truly impactful, and we appreciate the joy and entertainment you bring to the TikTok streets. Keep shining, Arihone says.
Thank you.
There you see. Something right happened.
Listen, it did.
What's the plan?
Yo.
Because clearly, or should I ask your husbands?
No, don't ask our husbands. No, don't ask our husbands. I think, shame, our husbands, I think they just need therapy. That's it.
We all need it.
We all
Like
do.
all four of us, just to find a way to navigate things and just make it a smoother process.
Yes.
Because we don't want them to go anywhere, but at the same time, she's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So we just need to find
a way that
for
works.
harmonious.
Are you aware of the empathy though that you need to have for them to understand your world?
100%, yes.
Yeah, we do. That's why we're still married. You know, we're choosing them every single day. I think
that's
it's just
powerful.
a matter of them, knowing that this one is not a choice. It's standard. And because we were so young when we got married, we couldn't have these conversations because we didn't know how it's going to roll out. We didn't know how it's going to be. So basically, our husbands have 2 wives each. And that's just the gist of it. I always say
Hey!
I'm not your husband's sister.
Man, sit down.
Not your husband's wife. Stop it.
Well, so Keith knows. I always say to him, I'm like, she's the wife number 1, I'm wife number 2, and vice versa. Because even with our kids, we co-parent our kids. We taught our kids, this is mommy and this is mama. And when it comes to our husband, this is papa, this is daddy. There's no uncle, there's no aunt, that
Okay.
doesn't even exist. Because did you know that our kids are biologically siblings?
Yeah.
So which is incredible for us. Because
Apparently your husbands also look the same.
Yeah, people say that.
Come on, what are your eyes saying?
The dark chocolate skin, I don't know what it is, but you know how they say we all look the same. I think it's just because they both darker in complexion, but they really are really amazing men to handle such powerful, enthusiastic women such as us. And we're extremely ambitious, and we really, we don't make it easy, and I'm aware of that. Sometimes I want to be like present. I want it to be like when I pick up my phone, let me call my husband.
You want him
first.
to be your best friend. Like, for me, I always say that it's so unfortunate when you marry like identical twins. Like, I look at couples, especially like social media couples, YouTubers, whatever. I'm like, they do everything together. And in my mind, I'm thinking our husbands thought maybe they would get that. Like, I'd get a friend and a wife and a
travel buddy and
with us, they basically just got a wife and a mom, but we still best friends. So I sympathize with them, and I feel bad that my husband can't be my best friend. Like
there's a part of her that he can never get or access. There's certain conversations he can never have with her. Like that door is closed. It doesn't even exist. Let me not say closed. It just doesn't exist. It's just there
but
for
it's something we are aware
else.
of and that I feel bad for. But we try and balance things out. But
yeah, like any situation, you know what? God has given you that burden. You need to know how to navigate through it and just pray for wisdom of how to handle it. None of us are perfect. And for me, I don't see this as a negative thing. I see it as a blessing that, her kids, when they're not there, I can be there for the kids. They can call somebody else mom. There's many beautiful aspects to it. We want big family. You don't just have 2 kids, you've got 5 kids. Our kids don't just have 2 siblings, they've got 5 siblings. And so for me, in the outram, I feel like our husband needs to look at the bigger picture. We're not forcing them to.
No. But they see
need
it.
to embrace that. Even with them, they are brothers. For me, it's just like, listen, they fight, it's up and down, but they found their way. You together, me and my sister.
Yeah.
Yes, we do, but we quickly get over it.
But our fights are just so matured and cute. Like I'm like this.
We have boundaries. Like I know.
Okay.
I know when she's upset. I know how long she's gonna be upset for.
Okay.
Like I figured her out,
and you know how to snap me out of it.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like I wish in my marriage it was that easy. That I know that you're upset, but I know how to snap you out of it, and I know how we can snap out of it quickly.
Can she advise your husband?
Hey,
Can you, Millie, sit Keith down and say, listen, this is
No,
how.
I think we can, but we just don't.
Why?
Because I feel like we've already invaded each other's marriages so much.
And we'll always be biased. I will always be biased for my sister.
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't matter what my sister, I'll always take her side. So when it comes to her husband, her husband is always wrong. And vice versa for my sister, it's just like, oof, Sissy, your husband. Like, she'll always look at me and I'm always going to be in the right. So the advice is not good enough because it will always be biased. And that's the power of love.
And it's nuanced. For somebody who is not a twin, may say, well, guys, you need to be, what's the word, neutral, sober. However, it's nuanced because we're talking about identical twins here.
Yes.
Right? We're talking about people who have nothing else but shared every single second together, right? And to apply that, because you are giving us a glimpse into your world of how it operates. And for somebody who's crushing on a twin right now,
Beware.
better be taking notes, bro.
Beware.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I admire twins who married other twins because I feel like the dynamics are quite similar. They can understand how it works. I've only seen in America, no one in South Africa. And we also know a set of twins who married one guy, but when they divorced, they both left.
Yeah.
You know?
I get Kosala.
No.
No?
It's because they come as a pair. It's just like you married one person and you know, you said it well. You said identical twins because there's a difference between normal twins, fraternal twins, and identical.
That's right. Yeah.
These ones, they were meant to be one person. So this is why most identical twins have the same careers, have the same interests, do the same thing. Even I was reading an interesting article yesterday of identical twins who were separated at birth and were adopted. Then they later met in life, I think in their 40s, but they did the exact same career. They drove the exact same car.
And they didn't
their wives' names were the same. They named their kids the same. They had no idea they were twins. But that's how identical twins are. It's like, it's spiritual, it's genetic, but it's also just, it's more inevitable. Things just fall into place. I didn't have to convince my sister to say, we're going to like the entertainment industry. No, since we're young, we were recording ourselves in a small tape recorder where there was a red record and then you press it together and then you record. We still have videos of us coming up with shows and presenting and whatever. So we're never confused. We'll never be like, oh, that one likes this and that one likes this.
About it.
And you don't have to pretend because that's just who you are. You can't pretend a career. You can't pretend a passion because you're going to get tired.
There's something you don't know about each other. I can prove it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
I can prove it. Are you ready?
Stop stressing us.
And it has nothing to do with your husbands.
Okay, good.
No, don't worry. I'm not going there.
You've got there enough.
Yes, exactly. What's her PIN number? Bank PIN number.
I know her bank PIN. Oh, no.
Guess what? I can open her phone. I can open her
My
bank
banking app.
because my face opens everything on her phone. So you're talking about PIN number? I don't need a PIN number.
You just need your face.
Yeah, I was just like, F&B, you can do better.
My sister e-wallets herself while I'm driving. And then she says, Sissy, thanks for the e-wallets. I'm like, I didn't e-wallet you nothing. It's like, well, I just sent myself money.
You guys are terrible.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
it's
it
beautiful.
Is.
We love it. And because we run our business, interesting fact, right? I don't know if this is our last point, but because we run Centtwinz Productions, so all the work that we do, all our income goes into Centtwinz Productions.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who worked what and how much they put into the business.
Yeah.
Every month we get paid the same salary together.
Yeah.
So Millicent could have hypothetically made 5 million and I made 500,000 that year.
Yeah.
Every single month we get the same salary together.
That's
it doesn't
amazing.
matter. And I think it's a beautiful thing that it's not even a conversation. I'm behind her when she's working. She's behind me when I'm working. And we've managed to build something beautiful together. And that's just the beauty of life. And for me, it's always loving someone more than you love yourself and wanting something better for somebody else than what you would even want for yourself. And having somebody who does the exact same thing for you.
Parting shot.
Unmatched.
Parting shot.
Yes.
They're not going away. They have something to say about Blind Spot, by the way.
Yes.
Are you going to wish him a happy Father's Day?
Oh,
Of course. Oh, jeez. Oh, wish them.
yeah. You see, that's one thing I can't do. I can't give her a baby. You know, her husband did. 100%. Our husbands are both amazing fathers to all of our kids, because you can easily say,
I'm talking
I'm
about the dearly departed. I'm not talking about the easy stuff.
The hard part.
The hard part.
The hard part.
Yeah, no, certainly. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful gift, and I think we're both blessed to have been given, you know, the opportunity to have those father figures in our kids' life to play a role that we never had. You know, our kids are extremely blessed. And also for me, what I always appreciate my husband for is that he loves my sister's kids as his own, because I could have not forced him to do that. That's what I want from the depth of my heart, because I look at them, I don't see them as my sister's kids, I look at them as my kids. But
that came
thank you, supernaturally,
they have a beautiful
by the grace of God, her husband looks at all our kids as his, and vice versa with my husband, and
they're
that
doing
is
such
amazing.
a great job.
They're doing an amazing job.
This one would pay for the swimming lessons. This one would take them out for movies. This one would, like, they don't even, it comes naturally to them. And I think that's
they can't
beautiful.
even buy, like, for the girls, for one person. They can't. It doesn't even exist.
Buy clothes for both.
You don't even have to ask. It's just natural.
Like my husband took her daughter out on her first date, which was so cute. And also, like, my husband didn't have a father figure in his life, and I was so worried because I didn't have a mother figure, he didn't have a father figure. I was like, this marriage is set up to fail, because what is it that we're doing? Like, where's the blueprint? You know, and he's doing so well. I'm so proud of him.